People who shove their school papers in their backpack with no binder folder etc. Where are you now? Wildland firefighter, don't really have to put any papers in my bag anymore. Though I do subscribe to the stuff your tent in the bag strategy over folding it. Lost in a sea of overwhelming guilt for my lost exam papers from 6 years ago. Shoving papers in my laptop bag, tool bag, desk drawer. I run a program that helps pay for low income people to be screened for cancer. My desk looks like a ref-king disaster, but I know where everything is. I'm a doctor, so now I just shove them in my white coat instead. I'm working on a sweet potato farm. Decent office job. I no longer shove my papers into a backpack. That's what my desk drawers are for. Still looking for my homework from 5th grade. Still trying to get my essay together, but this time in a more professional environment. Now I'm a teacher who shoves his papers in his bag with no binder folder. I always buy these nice binders which I carefully organize with different colors at the beginning of each school year. By the end of September I'm back to the good old-fashioned chaos. Edit. For those giving advice on organizing, my own system is rather efficient. I get home and then just put all the loose papers into different piles on my desk. Basically 2 piles. Correct this shit and shit has been corrected. I go over the piles in the weekend until only shit has been corrected remains. An engineer. Still shoving my papers into a backpack. I'm living with a very organized woman and it's a pretty middle class suburban life. I got through school fine. My life changed when I got diagnosed with AIDS as an adult and started taking meds. It slipped under the radar BC my performance was high. I'm a web programmer. It's funny because my code tends to be very clean and well documented. My files are always very organized too. Digital organization is really easy for me, but as soon as paper is involved everything goes to hell. A guy in my high school did this. He now has a PhD in astrophysics. I'm recovering from addiction to MTH and alcohol. 1 year clean, woohoo. I'm living on my own in a nice apartment, still shoving anything I want into whatever I want. I toast bread 3 slices to a slot. I park my motorcycle on the line between cars in the parking lot. I eat clementines whole and spit out the peel bit by bit. My computer desktop is packed with icons on the smallest size possible. I flush my toilet once a week. I'll listen to 2 podcasts at once, both at 2x speed. My closet is a pile of clothes roughly organized from big to small. Not great, my dude, not great. Director at a company of a highly regulated industry. An extra fuck you to Megan Rice, my 8th grade science teacher, who said I wouldn't amount to anything. The army. Still shoving things in my backpack, only now it's a camouflage backpack. Emergency and intensive care doctor. Still have a slightly chaotic core. Once ignored a chest infection in myself for so long. I ended up as a patient on my own NICU. Then had to have a little light thoracic surgery. I'm now engaged to a man whose college nickname was Captain Sensible. He tells me when I'm ill. He has no medical qualifications. Sensible bastard. Artist. Disorganized, but doing it full time. On medication for ADHD, currently in college with my notes nice and organized. A very disorganized grad student. A copywriter, still doing this out of spite. Who's in prison now, Mr. Kennedy, you dinosaur. Faculty of Medicine. Engineering student, and I still shove papers in my backpack and use them in a bonfire once the semester is over. I filled my backpack pretty quickly, so I used to walk around school with 2 shopping bags full of miscellaneous unsorted papers. I'm pretty successful and working in research now. I haven't used paper records for work in years. I still shove all of my important papers into a big plastic box, so I have to dig through the mess every year when I do my taxes. When the box gets full, I shove it in the closet and buy a new box. Anyone else folded a stack of papers and kept it in the pants pocket? 2x college dropout and single parent. I guess you can say I never learned to put a protective cover on things before shoving places. Software engineer. Medical doctor. Doing coke off a joker's ass. working in it, and I have folders upon folders filled with unnamed Excel files. Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, yup. I got diagnosed at, went to college, got into a super competitive nursing program, graduated Magna Cum Laude, and now I'm in school for my masters. And now I can shove my papers into drawers. Phone, no case. I'm married to a woman who used 100 colored pens to take in notes. So I've got that going for me. I'm an accountant. My reports are very organized, but I have 3 drawers full of stuff I might need at some point. I'm straight up not having a good time. I work as an archivist. I'm in charge of organizing and storing our nation's historic documents. Can neither confirm nor deny whether folders and binders are involved. Using cloud services like OneNote, so I'm paper free. Work at a hedge fund with my desk covered in paper. I'm CEO of my own startup. Still at high school, still doing that. But I already got admitted to university, and if my grades don't drop, I'll get an 80% discount scholarship. Working my way through school as an engineering major, had some fairly successful internships so far. I'm a CEO billionaire, thank you very much. Graduated chemical engineer, worked at NASA for a bit. Right now I'm an aerospace engineer. So I kinda cheated the system. It read through the entire textbook in a week or so. I never did homework, minimal effort on classwork, but always A's on test. They ended up isolating and supervising me during test. Come to find out I'm Asperger's as hell, and I learn best this way. I own 2 businesses, and provide a nice living for my family. Software developer, winning at life. I keep all my files on my desktop. When that gets full, I create a folder called OD desktop and put everything in there and start with a new desktop. When that gets full, I rinse and repeat.